What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I've got a couple things I've been working on. So let me show you today what we're going to go through in the video. Dorman keyless entry number 99164. This is for my 2003 Dodge Ram 2500 that does not have keyless entry from the factory. So I'm going to be going through you with the steps, showing you that I actually got this thing to work, and it comes with the transmitter you plug into the OBD2 port and one remote, which I had already bought two off of the almighty eBay, and let me show you they actually work. Now, to do this project you only need 3 tools. That's right, and it's very simple, very minimal work. Let me show you what those are. Alright, so you see we need a flat blade screwdriver, a 1/4 inch socket wrench, an extension about 3 to 4 inches long, and I'm using a Phillips head with a magnet, or you can use a small socket. I'm unsure what size, but it's a small socket. But if you use the Phillips head, you can actually use it on all your bolts, because they have Phillips head on the top of them. So let's get started on this. I'll show you how we're going to do this. All right, so let me hop up in here. Sorry, the sun's kind of bright today, but I know I haven't given a lot of videos here in the recent 4, 5, 6 months. I'm sorry, guys. I've been busy with work, training, doing things I got to do, which cut down on my time. So I figured I actually already installed this keyless entry and didn't really think about making the video that might be beneficial to some of y'all. But I'm going to take you through the steps. I'm going to post a couple pictures of what it looks like behind the gauges so you know exactly where it goes. My truck is an 03 Dodge 2500 Cummins. It's a four-wheel drive quad cab long bed, and it is the 6-speed with the MV 5600 transmission. But this did not come with keyless entry. It has the automatic door locks, power windows, all that stuff, but it did not come with the keyless entry option. A lot of people online are saying that if your passenger door doesn't have the keyhole, then it has it. I didn't think about that at the time when I bought this truck about 4 or 5 years ago. I honestly figured most cars after 2000 had keyless entry, so I didn't think about it. I didn't get a key fob. I just figured they weren't given to the dealership when I bought it new, or bought it used from them. So I started researching, and I realized that this did not have it. I actually bought key fobs several years ago for it, and it wouldn't work, and I thought, well, I guess it doesn't have it behind the dash, behind the gauges where your little transmitter plugs up into. So I just sent him back and said forget it. And then now I've gotten the itch again and thought, well, I'm going to try this this keyless entry remote from Dorman 99164 on it, because it says it's made for this, but it also says that it's just a key fob programmer. So I didn't know how that was going to react with me installing my own transmitter behind the gauges, since this wasn't set up for keyless entry from the factory apparently. So I'm going to go through the steps real quick, show you what needs to be pulled off, what screws need to come out. It's a really simple operation. It literally only takes you about 5 minutes to get to the gauges off, and then that's it. You can get to your gauge lights, you can get to the transmitter, whatever, put it all back in, plug it in real quick, and put everything back. So it's really a 15-minute thing if at best. So hang with me here and let me show you what we're going to do. All right, so here's my gauges. What you're going to do is you're going to pull this little area right here is going to just pop out. Take this one right here, this one all the way across actually comes off in one piece, and it just pops all off. And there's wires that hold this back there and a lot of these things back there, but honestly it's not a lot of weight, so I just kind of let it pull forward a little bit. Now, and as you can see right here and right here, there is actually a there's 2 small bolt slash screws. They have a bolt head on them. They're probably like 8mm or something. They're really small, but I actually used my Phillips head with the magnet on it and you can put those right up in here, and you can actually just put them in the Phillips head and pull those down. Those are the only two screws that hold it in. That pops off, and then there's a couple of the little pieces back here that just push in, so you just pop that whole thing off. Once you pop all those off, you're exposed to your gauges. Oh, you'll have to pull the kick panel that is down here off, which there's one screw here, one screw over there, and then the two push things up here, you just pull that out and they come undone. But after you pull those 3 to 4 things off, your gauges, they have one screw up here, one screw up here, one down here behind here when this pulls off, and one right down here when you pull all this off. After that, it just tilts forward, and it'll come out just about here. You can adjust your steering wheel as needed. Once you pull out here, there's 3 little sets of wires that control your gauges, your keyless, your controls here. And so you pull that forward. There's a little tab on each one of the top of those sets of wires. You'll push down and try pull out on the wires, and that'll pull the whole wire assembly out of the back of the gauges. Once you get all that out, I'm going to post a picture in here that'll show you where the transmitter goes. It's plain as day as where it goes, because it's an area about that far, and it's got 6 little holes where your transmitter actually plugs in. So I'll post some pictures of what it looks like behind there. After you get that in, you reverse the process, put those 3 gauges back in, put all your screws in, your bezel, and then push all these back in, and then you're good to go. And then we'll get on to the programming part. All right, guys, so after you get everything put back in, that thing in the back of the dash, it just pops in, and it has 2 clips on either side that holds that transmitter in to keep it from coming out. It's really good and tight. And then here's the Dorman 99164 receiver. It goes into your OBD2 port. I bought this as a kit. I think I bought it on Amazon. It was like $58. It actually came with a key fob, which is, I don't know, $7 or $8 worth, because if you get it off of eBay, it's about $7 or $8 probably for one. I paid $13 for 2 of them off of eBay in a pack before I realized I needed it, or forgot I got to get this. So I've got 3 key fobs. So you'll take this, you'll turn your key on position 1, which is not starting it, but it's just getting to where everything chimes. You'll plug this up into your OBD2, and there's a light right there on the bottom. You can see it. And you plug that up, it chimes a couple times. You hold down your lock and unlock button on your remote for 3 seconds. Then you hold the lock button for 2 seconds. And then you go to your next key fob and do it. And miraculously, believe it or not, it worked. I couldn't believe this little contraption actually worked. I didn't think, with my truck not having keyless entry key fobs from the factory without the transmitter, I really didn't think this thing was going to work. But apparently, a lot of the vehicles, or at least mine, it recognized the transmitter in the back of the gauges. So I would guess when it went to program the key fobs, it automatically did it. So I did that, and it says to wait 2 minutes after you're done to test them out. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see my door lock right back there, but, and you can hear my car lock, or my truck. Do it, hit it, unlock once, it unlocks the driver door. Hit it a second time, all the other doors unlock. And believe it or not, the lights blink when you lock it and unlock it. It horn beeps. I haven't tried the panic because I'm in my subdivision and I don't feel like making a fool of myself if I hit the panic and then don't know how to turn it off. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. But it actually worked. I programmed the 2 key fobs I got off of eBay separately from this order. So they actually work. They're really good. They're not soft buttons. They're pretty firm buttons, so it doesn't seem like they're going to wear out. But, you know, this package with the 1 key fob was like I think it was like $58. The transmitter, I got it on eBay, or I got the programmer thing, the Dorman programmer, I got it off of Amazon for about $56 or $58. I got the transmitter If I'm not mistaken, I got that off of eBay, and it was about the same price, $56, $58 for the transmitter. It looks similar to this, but it has 6 prongs in one side that actually plugs into the dash this way. It doesn't plug in this way. It actually plugs in long way, so it's smooth with the gauges. But so I mean, roughly for like $110, if you just needed one key fob that comes with the transmit or the programmer, and then the transmitter by itself, for like $110, you can have keyless entry for your truck when it didn't come with it. And you don't even have to take it to the dealer to get it programmed, which is what I was afraid of, since my truck didn't come with it from the factory apparently. That's what I was afraid of, is I was going to have to take it there and spend $60 or $80+ just to have them program that transmitter. But apparently you don't need it, because the truck recognized it. So when I went to program my key fob, it automatically recognized that transmitter in the back of the gauges, and it worked. So I am overly ecstatic that with my 3 key fobs, the programmer and the transmitter, I have like $120 wrapped up in this, and I've got keyless entry and 3 key fobs. So I'm very ecstatic that this actually worked, because some people on YouTube were programming them, I guess, for vehicles that these are supposed to cover, and it wasn't working for some reason. I'm not sure, but I've got it to work, and it's great because for 50 something bucks, I've got this. So if I ever lose the memory of my key fobs, I'll just put this back in and do it, and I'll have my key fobs back working again. So hopefully that won't happen, but you never know. So I hope this was beneficial to everybody. I've got the newer Dodge Ram tow mirrors that have the chrome covers with the LED light blinkers and the light blinkers on the outside of it, and those all blink too when I go to lock it. So I've got my emergency turn signals, the lights on my mirrors, and my tail lights. They all blink when I go to lock and unlock it. So my horn even works with it. So that's super cool. I hope this helped. I'll post some, hopefully you like the pictures that I put in here for behind the gauge pod, so you know exactly what you're looking like. And while I'm on this video, while I had my gauges out, I was trying to replace my gauge lights behind there with LEDs. I tried 2 different ones. They didn't work well. The pods didn't exactly fit the holes where you have to twist them and twist them in to lock them. So to be honest with you, the few I needed, I just went to the Dodge dealership. I said, let me have a couple of those lights, because none of the LED aftermarket ones from Amazon were fitting well or working good, and I didn't feel like putting them all in and then hooking it up, and come to find out most of them would probably be backwards, because it's, you know, reverse polarity, so you'd have to take them all out just to make sure they're all right. So I tried that. It didn't work real well. I just kept my factory little incandescent lights that go behind the gauges and said, forget it, it's not worth the hassle. The factory ones have fit best most of all, and so I just leave it at that. But that's just a little input while you have your gauges out. If you think about doing that, it was from Parts AM or Parts AM, and then another one, but the sockets just weren't working good to fit in the hole and turn on the back of the gauges. So I should have videotaped that to warn everybody, but maybe you'll have better luck with other ones. But I wasn't willing to take the chance anymore, because my dash was kind of pulled apart, so I was like, forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm just going with factory. But this keyless entry worked awesome. I just cannot believe it. I'm just glad I didn't have to go to the factory. Stay tuned. I've got a couple more things I'm thinking about getting for this Dodge. I know it's been a long time. I've started some work on the Mustang, which I need to start videotaping that as far as paint and blemishes, and it's going to be down for a while because of the work I'm doing on it. I'm going to transform that thing into something that's going to be looking awesome, hopefully. So it's a project car, you know. So anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for viewing this. I'll try and get some more things going soon, and hopefully be able to benefit somebody. Hopefully this keyless entry benefited somebody. And stay tuned. We'll see what else is coming. Y'all have a good day. See ya.